John Jinapor must resign now. He must resign right away. He is a disgrace to us. I tell you, he is not worth the salary we are paying him. And this kind one there. As for this one alone there, I have never ever heard or seen it under Akufo-Addo's government. 8 years. I have not heard containers have developed wings, have flown away, or I have not heard containers have evaporated, miraculously vanished. This one is even more than miracle money. He is a chronic liar. A chronic liar. There is no way a 40-footer container should be able to vanish on its own. So when this story came up, a lot of Ghanaians started saying that, no, what are you talking about? No, wait a minute. Containers, 40-footer containers, over 1,000 of them vanishing. Number one, for a container to move from Tema Harbour, it needs a trailer. Now, the 40-footer container, one trailer can only pick one. So what it means is that if 1,300 40-footer containers are missing from the port, it means that 1,300 trailers have entered the port, have loaded containers, and have left the port without anybody seeing it. That is what we are being told, the signs of the NDC. Right. Now, who informs us of these missing containers? It is Dr. John Jinapor. He's now a doctor because he has a PhD. And looking at him, I now understand why a cleaner in the Netherlands can stand up and say that cleaning in Netherlands is better than having a PhD in Ghana. Now, those of us who are in academia, who are learning to become doctors of philosophy, I can tell you on authority that it is very, very, very difficult to get a PhD in Ghana. Extremely difficult. But for a cleaner outside the country, in Holland, to be able to boldly tell us that, oh, his cleaning job is even more useful than having a PhD in Ghana, tells us that we are people, maybe most of our people who are having who are having a PhD are not living a life worthy of the PhD. One such people is the current energy minister we have in Ghana. And strangely, it's like this whole NDC government is beginning to unfold like a horror movie. A sequence of a movie we have seen in the past. Now, this is a government that came, invested our monies into guinea fowls. In the end, we were told all these guinea fowls flew to Burkina Faso. None of them were we able to retrieve. Now, from guinea fowl, it is now containers that contain items that actually are supposed to be beneficial to ECG. Now, we are told that the valuation of each of the containers is from $300,000 to $500,000, each of them. Let's take the upper ceiling of $500,000. You multiply and you realize that we are speaking of about $675 million. Now, sometimes when you mention $675 million, somebody will tell you, and so what? Because they don't know what $675 million can do. So let me break it down for you. $675 million can build 10,000 6-unit classrooms in Ghana. I repeat, $675 million can build 10,000 6-unit classrooms in Ghana from start to finish. So what it means is that all our schools under trees will be eliminated with this money that has just vanished like that. We can see all our schools under trees. We can eliminate them. Every village in Ghana will be able to get a 6-unit classroom with the weight of containers that we are told are missing. So this is how serious what we are talking about is. Let's leave classrooms. The $675 million we are talking about can actually provide 2 other brand new, from start to finish, Accra Regional Hospital that we have. The Accra Regional Hospital, as we have it, We used 250 million to expand it and all. Is that not so? With 675 million, we can have 2 of those constructed from scratch to finish in any other part of this nation. That is the amount of money we are told is missing. Agenda 111. With the 675 million US dollars, we will be able to finish all the Agenda 111 hospitals we have in Ghana. We will be able to finish all of them. So that is the quantum of money our NDC people are telling us, say, it has just vanished into the air. Now, knowing the amount of things that are missing, here comes in the question, and I know you have been hearing a lot of commentaries about this thing. So I want to bring another perspective to you. These missing containers show us how lazy our friends in the NDC are. Very, very lazy group of people. Very, very lazy group of people. People who want to be receiving the salary but do not want to work. Why am I saying this? As a minister, an incoming minister, you were part of the transition team. You were told some 2,500 containers were in the port, yet to be cleared. You received a handing over note. You append your signature to it. You went to the port, the harbor, because you were so lazy. Let's even assume, this one is assuming that the containers did not get missing within these 3 months. Right? Assuming they got missing before these 3 months. He went to the harbor. But because of laziness, he wouldn't wait, take his time to let the containers be counted before exiting the harbor. He hurriedly goes back to Parliament because of propaganda. He wants to find something wrong with the Akufo-Addo government by all means. He runs to Parliament to say that some 3,000 containers are in the harbor without anyone to clear them. And it shows the incompetence of Akufo-Addo's government. Parliament is a house of record. You mentioned 3,000. Because of laziness, you did not cross-check. Now, today, you come and tell us that some 1,300 containers are missing. And you are trying to shift the blame to the previous government. Let me give you this speaker example of what Dr. John Jinapor is doing. It is like you give your car to your sibling, okay, maybe your junior sibling, that go and buy an engine. The car's engine is worrying you, okay? Then you tell your sibling that go and buy an engine, use it for some time, and then bring me back my car. Your sibling comes with the car, opens the car, you look at the engine with your eyes. He asks you, is this a new engine? You say yes. Are you sure it is a new engine? You reply yes. And the only thing you say after that is that you did not bring the car early. So your complaint is that your sibling in question did not bring the car early. But you have admitted and you have testified to the fact that the engine your junior sister or brother bought was a new one. You start using the car. After 3 weeks, the car breaks down. Then you claim you have gone to check the engine again and it was a second-hand engine. It was not a brand new engine. And you are blaming your sibling for it. Like your siblings will come and pay for the price. Can you imagine this? Meanwhile, you had seen it with your eyes. You had agreed that it was a brand new engine. This is what John Jinapor is telling us. Now, if we were in some serious dispensation, if you were in some serious nation, even before this minister comes to tell us that we should not actually be hearing that the containers are missing from this minister. Ideally, this guy should have been resigning. Now, whilst resigning, then we will be asking, why is he resigning so soon? Then we will be told that the reason for resignation is that some 1,300 containers are missing. That is how a serious nation, a serious democratic nation, a nation that wants to that wants to develop, a nation that wants to see its systems work, a fixed nation. That is how it's supposed to work. You have in the first place, you, John Jinapor, should not have the temerity, the courage to face camera right now to tell Ghanaians to our face that 1,300 containers are missing. You are the Minister of Energy, for crying out loud. You are the one who went to Parliament to mention 3,000 and then mention 2,500. You are the one. Nobody forced you. Nobody asked you any question. You are the one who drove your V8 with fuel sponsored by the taxpayer, with other V8s to the harbor to go and inspect the containers. Now, with your naked eye, you should be able to make estimation. So if they send you to where containers are, and you see with your eyes that this can be up to 2,000, you should be able to know with your eyes. Even if you don't have the time to look at each of them one by one, you should be able to see with your eyes. We are even in a technologically advanced nation. They could use scanners to quickly number the containers for you to know that you are looking at 2,500 containers or you are looking at less than that. So on no account can you blame Akufo-Addo's government for missing containers. On no account. In the handing over note, it was specified 2,500. The minister had appended his signature, has said in front of Parliament that he had received 2,500 containers. So nobody, NOBODY, should attempt to shift blame to Akufo-Addo's government. We will not accept that one. If the minister has any iota of self-respect left, this is the time to resign. He telling us that he is commissioning a criminal investigation is not enough. The first criminal in this matter is himself, the minister. The first criminal, I repeat, in this issue of containers that have evaporated, is the minister himself. Because in the end, he is a general overseer in that ministry. Everything lies on him. He is the one who testified to Parliament that he has seen 3,000 containers. He said it in Parliament. He has seen 3,000 containers. And you know, Parliament, when you get there, you swear an oath to say the truth, nothing but the truth and the whole truth. So already, this man can be taken on with perjury, lying under oath, if he claims that it is NPP who are stealing containers. Second aspect, and they say, we voted on 7th December. Okay? 8th December was a Sunday, and I remember so well. Around 9 a.m., Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia came out to concede defeat that, I've lost the election. Congratulations to John Mahama. I've called him. John Mahama himself had come to tell us that he was even asleep when they told him that his brother was calling. Okay? Right. When that was announced, on 9th of December, 9th was a Monday, NDC hooligans, I repeat, hooligans, marched on Tema Harbour. And they've been there since, until their party took over on 7th January. On 9th December, that Monday, after Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had conceded defeat, whilst we were all waiting on the EC, NDC took it upon themselves that they were protecting government assets. And they went to the Tema Harbour. They went there. They've been there ever since. So there is no way anybody within that transition period would move over 1,000 containers without NDC hooligans that were keeping watch there. See it. You remember when they issued the saga about the gold, PMMC, and the Ashanti regional organizer, I think that's the national organizer of the NDC, Joseph Yamin, went there with some of his boys to say that they have gone to seize gold. They will not allow the gold to be exported. All those things happen at Tema Harbour. right? All those things happened at Mahabo during the transition period. So they were there all along. Dorothy, how are you? They've been there all along. So you cannot and you should not and not even attempt or think of blaming anybody. And this John Jinapor must resign now. He must resign right away. He is a disgrace to us. I tell you, he is not worth the salary we are paying him. John Jinapor is not worth the salary we are paying him as a minister of state. He's not worth it. He's wasting our resources. We are wasting our resources providing him with a Land Cruiser V8 and a saloon car with a house, wardrobe allowances, paying for his cook, paying for his driver. We are just wasting money. He does not know what his job is. He doesn't know. And when you say it, they say you should not say it. When you say it, people think that, oh, and I just 3 months in opposition and you are bleeding. We're not bleeding, no. We ain't bleeding. This is serious. This is serious. It's a serious issue that we need to address, and we must call for this minister to resign. And you see, in Ghana, it's just painful that we do not have the culture of resignation. It's as if once you are a politician or once you've been appointed to do something for government, you lose even your self-respect. When you yourself, you know you are falling short of the market scheme, you cannot just resign. John Jinapor must resign. He must resign. He must make himself available to Iyoko and whoever is involved into the investigation. How did he come about the number of 3,000 and 2,500? Dr. Top Form says that John Jinapor must resign. Yes, hashtag. Yes. He must resign. He went to the harbor. How did he see that how did he confirm there were 2,500 containers at the harbor? How did he come about the figures? He was there. If he had not been there, he could have been forgiven. If he had not gone there. But propaganda, he went there with media men. Oh, I've come to Tema Harbor. I've seen the containers. 2,500 containers. Akufado's government, they could not clear it. Competent says that, yes, he must resign only if you have a working system. Yes, he must resign. And if he fails to resign, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, must sack him. Kofi said he must be arrested. I side with you, Kofi. He must also be arrested. He is a prime suspect in this. Prime suspect. He is a prime suspect. In this very investigation, he is government official one. In this very investigation. And it's sad. It's sad that over the next 4 years ahead of us, these are the things we will keep hearing. Very soon it will move from containers, it will be V8 that will be flying into the air. Flying. Is this a government that had promised Ghanaians better? These are the people who have promised Ghanaians better. These are the people who have promised Ghanaians reset. Indeed, this is a reset. To be in a country where containers containing goods can evaporate, can undergo sublimation, is indeed reset. Because this kind one there, as for this one alone there, I have never ever heard or seen it under Akufo-Addo's government. 8 years, I have not heard containers have developed wings, have flown away, or I have not heard containers have evaporated, miraculously vanished. This one is even more than miracle money. Yeah, just vanished like that. 1,300 of them. Do you know something? It will take over 1 month of consistent taking out of containers to be able to take out 1,000 containers. Plus, 1 month consistently. Just say the trailers are taking the containers, loading 24 hours. It will take you 30 days. 30 days. Let me do a small calculation for you. So you should know that this thing, It's not NDC, it's not MPP affair. It is these people. 3 months they've used it to take away these containers. Let me tell you, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me do some quick calculation for you to see. Let me do some calculation. I'm opening my calculator so that you see. To know that it is not a one-day wonder. It's not a one-day wonder at all. This guy must resign and he must be arrested. John Jinapor. Now, 24 hours goes into 1 day, right? So, and we have 30 days in a month. So in all, we have 720 hours in a month. So you divide it by 1,300. So you have 0.55 times 60. Good. It means that if you use in average 30 minutes to load one container to a trailer, that is when you'll be able to use 1 month. 1 month to carry these containers out. That is when you use 30 minutes. And you know, if you have been to Tema Harbor before, you will know that it is almost even impossible to load one container and carry it out in 30 minutes. So it tells you that why is it coming out now? He took over by 30th January to 28th February, 1 month, and March is already ended. So they had enough time to move away, to move these containers. Now he's coming to tell us that some 1,300 containers are missing. We don't want to, you see, we cannot trust his words. You know, do you know why I'm not even talking about the so-called arrest they have made? Because already the person who is feeding us with the information, we cannot trust his word. I don't trust him. You should not trust him. I don't even want to go into if they have seen an Indian with it, they have seen Chinese with it. I don't even want to go into that one. Because already he has proven to us that he is a bloody liar. He lies. He can lie to you. So we don't trust him any longer. We don't trust him to even be our energy minister any longer. Because from day one, he has been lying since. On 7th January, he was at the Independence Square telling you and I that it was left with 5 hours of fuel. Do you know what he told us on 7th January? Only for later for us to see that, oh, he was lying. There was no 5 hours of fuel. Yeah, we had excess of 2 weeks. So from the very onset, this John Jinapor has been lying, consistently lying. He is a chronic liar. A chronic liar. So if you come and tell me today that you have caught an Indian and later on I'm hearing you have caught Chinese, how do I trust you? We don't trust you. Resign. You are a chronic liar. Even the oxygen you breathe is full of lies. We know you. We know you. We always knew you were incompetent, but not to this level. That under your watch containers can fly. What kind of joke is that? What kind of joke is that? And we are in a country. We are in a country under someone who calls himself supreme ruler. Containers are flying. So John Jinapor must resign. Baby is laughing. Say, hey, voice. Yes, he must resign. He's a chronic liar. He told us 7th January, 5 hours of fuel left. We went beyond those 5 hours. We went beyond even 2 weeks. Right? He went to the port. He said he has seen the 2,500 containers with his eyes. Right? Today he's telling us 1,300 are missing. Then the next day he's telling us that he has seen an Indian. Today he's telling us Chinese. You want us to trust you? My brother, resign. Resign now. You are wasting time. So that's about the containers. Don't blame. No one should attempt to blame MPP. Nobody should attempt to blame Nanado. We will not accept it. And if you dare arrest anybody in the MPP, we will demonstrate. Mami is laughing. We will demonstrate. Because John Jinapor confirmed with his mouth that he has seen it. Seeing is believing. Spike says they want to do everything possible to make the propaganda their truth. No. You see, the Bible says that, you see, let he who thinks he is standing take care lest he falls. Competency karma is impatient. Yeah. Because he thought he was doing it to make the name of Akufo-Addo bad. But you see today, you see God. That's Nyami. God, they only left you. Sure, you don't know. All right, so that's about the missing containers. So let me quickly go to the Chief Justice. Yeah, Semu.